Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Arden of Faversham, and we get to hear from Reede again today in Act 4, Scene 4. So we had a lot of recap yesterday, but basically what it boils down to is there were two more attempts on Arden's life that were unsuccessful because of fog and because of other things. And each time Will and Shakebag are unable to kill Arden, Alice and Mosby are getting a little more antsy about it. And Alice is now in possession, well, the two of them are now in possession of this poisoned crucifix that Clark had made for them. But they also decided, Alice was like, you know, these idiots are never going to kill Arden. So Mosby, you and I should confront him in the street, challenge him to a duel in the fray. He'll get killed. It'll be fine. Then we can be together. And Mosby's like, yes, I like this idea. But at the beginning of Act 4, Scene 4, we were hanging out with Reede and this sailor because Reede is another person who lost his lands when Arden was given all of the lands of the Abbey of Faversham. So he has come to confront Arden, and they're outside Arden's house, almost at Arden's house, because Reede was like, he's never going to let me in his house, so I need to confront him and talk to him here. And when Arden and Franklin came by, Reede was like, so this was my land. Yes, I'm a sailor who's out on the sea most of the time, but my wife and kids still live here, so can they just continue to have that land? And Arden is like, no, because you've been kind of a jerk to me. And Reede is like, okay, fine. If I can't have the land, I curse it. Nothing is ever going to grow there. Nobody's ever going to have babies there. Like, I curse this land. And Franklin is like, you might want to be careful what you curse, because that could come back to haunt you later, which is kind of appropriate. And Reede says, light where they will. Were I upon the sea, as oft I have in many a bitter storm, and saw a dreadful southern flaw at hand, the pilot quaking at the doubtful storm, and all the sailors praying on their knees, even in that fearful time would I fall down and ask of God, whatever betide of me, vengeance on Arden, or some misevent to show the world what wrong the cur hath done. This charge I'll leave with my distressful wife. My children shall be taught such prayers as these, and thus I go, but leave my curse with thee. So what he's saying is, this is his life's mission now, to curse this land so that nothing good will ever happen there, since the land now belongs to Arden. The whole first bit is he's just painting a picture of a horrible thing that could happen, you know, when he's out on a boat in the middle of a hurricane or some terrible storm. He still would be praying for Arden's misfortune as opposed to praying for his own life. And he's like, I'm going to tell my wife to do the same. I'm going to tell my kids to do the same. Peace out. And he leaves. And Franklin and Arden are both like, do we even know him all that well? Like, I'm not really concerned. Like, neither of them is very concerned about this threat. And Arden is like, you know, but what is making me happy right now is my wife seems to be more herself than she had been. Like, she's kinder to me. She's, whatever it was that was going on with her, it seems to have settled a little bit. So let's get on back to the house before she's done cooking, so that we can get something to eat. And Franklin's like, that's great that she's feeling better and you two are getting along better, but let's not make her feel really bad about the fact that we just went and had dinner at Lord Cheney's house and she didn't get to go. Let's not rub that in her face. And as if on cue, Alice and Mosby now enter with their arms linked, sort of like skipping down the path to greet them. And Arden is like, what are you doing with my wife? And he draws his sword, and Alice is like, oh, nothing, we're just coming out to see you, and gives Mosby a kiss. And Arden is like, no, this isn't going to happen. And Mosby draws his sword, and Franklin draws his sword, and Alice screams, oh no, they're going to kill my husband. So Will and Shakebag come in also with their swords, and they all start fighting, and Shakebag and Mosby are both injured, which they each have a line that's like, oh no, I'm wounded. And then Mosby, Will, and Shakebag leave the stage. So now it's just Arden and Alice and Franklin left. And Alice is like, what did you do? We came out to greet you being all nice, and I was just showing you that I'm nice, and he's your friend, and you've injured him. Like, what what did you do? And Franklin was like, oh no, oh no. And Alice is going to have a little bit more to say on this topic in a monologue tomorrow. So we'll see you then for that. Mwah.